Okay, here we have the Winthrop Brown wood burning stove. I think it's a cracking stove and it's certainly a great price. Quite a simple thing, a nice completely sealed unit. You just have inlet valves or inlet air intakes, so one at the top and one at the bottom. So air goes in there and then the fumes go out the back up into the chimney. Thing to note about it, it has two outlets. You can have top mounted or back mounted. I've done mine for the rear, mainly because I wanted the oven to be a bit more into the room, the stove, to make it a lot warmer. And also, I didn't like the idea, although you've got a back plate to direct the flames, having it just there, it seems to me to be more heat going up the chimney. So now the air has to go round the plate and down. So effectively it goes like this and round out the back. So more heat in there. So I want to just show you how simple it is to light. So, and the other thing is this, you can see the fume, the outlet flue here, and that goes into a registry plate. If you want to know more about the build and things like the registry plate, look at the blog, that tells you a bit more of that information. But the whole idea is to keep as much heat into the room. I just want to show you how easy it is to light now, so let's quickly light the thing. So, I've got a log here left over from last night. Typically I usually shut it down about, I don't know, 9, half 9, and it all just closes down, that goes out, and it just stays warm for quite a few hours later. So, first of all, lighting it, I use these little little straw lighters. So I think are they dipped in wax? I don't know. You can get these at any DIY stores or garden centres. So I'll drop one of those in there. I'll then get some kindling. So I'll put this a bit under there. Okay, I'll put another one in just for lucky. So I put 3 pieces of kindling. So I've got that there, and then I'll put another piece of wood on top of that. I think, let me see, that can okay, a little bit big. Let's get another one a bit smaller. What about this one? Okay, that'll do. Right, the valves. So first of all, the top one. This is the one you normally have running when the oven's going. Open that up, and the bottom one here as well. You use that when you're starting the fire in the first place. Get the air in underneath to get it going, and once it's going you just shut that one off and leave this one running. And just like this. Okay. Just put that piece of wood in there. This is quite a bit bigger than I would normally do. Shut the oven, and that's it. So that will now burn away. So what we do is I'm going to turn this off now, and looking at the time here, I'll turn it back on in 1 minute, see what it's like. Hopefully it will be going. If not, we'll do it for another minute after that. So there we are, and then we'll come back in a few more minutes and you'll just see how great it's going. The other thing to know, while that's going, at the back I've got my little temperature thing on the back plate, so you know what the temperature is. So you've got an optimum temperature to get the best air oven, so then that measures that for me. Okay, let's leave that and come back in exactly 1 minute. Okay, that's now 1 minute later. It's going quite nicely. The flames at the front haven't started yet, so we'll come back again in 5 minutes and then that should be flying away. But the simple fact is I've lit it, that's it, no more for me to do. Okay, it's now 5 minutes later and you can see everything's firing away. I mean, the thing I want to point out, I've actually closed the bottom air intake. And it's quite quiet here, it's just firing away. But let me just open this up, let you hear. You can hear how it changes with the air blowing in. Well, hopefully you'll be able to hear it. So now the air is rushing in. Hopefully you've heard the difference in sound with the air open. So that's just chugging away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back upstairs because I'm working from home today. It's classic freezing cold today. Now typically I would have put the central heating on to warm up, but what I'm going to do is I'm just firing this up, opening the doors, and then I'll just leave it running. So I'll go back upstairs to work, and then I'll come down in an hour's time, put another log on, go back to work. And really it's just a way of heating up the house without putting the whole of the central heating on. And the cool thing about the stove is you can leave it. I don't have to worry about bits flying out. You can hear it spitting away every now and then, whereas normally that would be firing bits out onto the carpet, whereas here it isn't. So that's looking all very nice. While I'm just here, I just quickly, maybe you can just see a bit of the residue plate there, and the back of the so if you look on the blog you'll see how I've done this, but the main thing about this is so I can easily sweep the chimney. So I can put a bag on the end of that cap there and then just connect up through the chimney sweep. Right, there you are my friends. So I'm switching off, and then we'll come back maybe in an hour's time and let you see what it looks like then. Okay, I said I'd come back in an hour, but this is 15 minutes later. I just really wanted to see, let you see how it's all going. And the other key thing is to note, we're up to we're in the right zone for temperature wise. So height, that's the temperature of the flue there. So that's after 15 minutes. So we're in the right operating temperature, and there she is, firing away lots of flames in there. And right, okay, and I will come back an hour. I said I'd come back in an hour's time, but actually it's only a couple of minutes later. I just wanted to point out one other thing before I go back upstairs to work. I just put another log on, so I've now got 3 logs in there. I thought, well, I might as well just stoke it up so I can leave it running. So, these are the sort of size logs I put on, so I got about 3 of these in there. Though this one here is a lot bigger than this. It's more like, I don't know, this sort of size. 3 logs in there. And the other thing I just wanted to just show you is another thing I use is one of these eco fans. I'll just put that on there. Unfortunately, the eco fan is there to circulate air, so it does get very warm, and I like it. As I say, I'm going to leave the room now, so I really want the hot air circulating, and I want it moving out into the other rooms. So I use this device here, and literally all it does, it gets hot, warm. Once the warm comes up, the fan starts going, and then it starts pushing air out. Now, if you read the instructions, normally you wouldn't have such a low part of the chimney. It'll be a lot higher, and this should really sit there. So you're taking a lot of the air from the back, going over the fans and pushing it out. So the way I got it, it's not running as, oh my gosh, that's hot already. It's not running as efficiently as it should do, but it certainly circulates the air. I usually put it on after it's been running a little while, because when you put it on to begin with, it'll start running, but then it starts chucking cold air around. There we go, off she goes. So there's no batteries, nothing to run, it's just done by the heat of the oven. So that's now going to start circulating the air. Look on the internet, some people love them, some people hate them. I honestly do think it makes a difference, especially if you're like me today. I'm going to be running this all day, heating up the house. Remember, it's only 5 kilowatts, it's not that big a heat generator, but with the fan it's circulating the air and it doesn't cost me anything. And I do know it's making a difference, because like on this oak here, when I don't have this gets really hot to touch. And to put it in perspective, at Christmas, there was chocolate up here, so all the chocolate melted before I had this, obviously, Christmas present. So now with this doesn't get so hot, and I know it's circulating the air. So that's it. So the other log's nicely burning, and now I'm going to leave it, and I literally will come back in an hour's time to put another log on, and then go back to work. Come back in an hour's time, put another log on, go back to work. So there we go. Okay, that's all nicely burnt down. So what I'm going to do is just, I think I might put a couple of bits of kindling on, and I'll put this monster log on there. I hope it's going to fit, and leave it at that. Use my mittens because this does get very hot, and yeah, so they're all looking quite good in there. I'm going to chuck a couple of those in. throw another one in for luck. Put this monster piece in, which is a monster piece. And then I'll just open the vent up, fire it up. Just making sure, you can't see it now, just making sure the flames are running at the back, which they are. So I'll just leave that, and then I'll come back in a few minutes and then turn this down and then leave it. One thing I just quickly before I go is you'll notice this is quite close to the glass, which this is really quite a big thick piece of wood. Because it's so close to the glass, when the flames go, you'll start getting the glass getting dirty. In normal operation with this vent here, the air actually comes down, there's a little gap there and it flows over the glass to keep the glass clear, so you don't have to clean that often. But in this sort of situations you often get dirty, so you just need to clean it. And the best way I found to clean it is just a piece of cloth with vinegar, open up the thing under here where the ash is, dip it in ash and then clean the glass. You know, it really does work. I've tried cleaning it with water and what have you, and it doesn't do a great job, but vinegar and ash does a fantastic job. I think, you know, we've been running this for quite a few months now. I think the glass has been cleaned twice, and emptying of the ashes, that's another thing. We've only emptied the ashes twice and we run this a lot, so it does a good job of actually not much waste as well. So there we go, we see that firing up there, and yeah, it's firing away at the back, so we've got the equivalent of this at the back. I'll give it a I'll just quickly come down in a couple more minutes, shut the valve and then leave it for another hour, and then just carry on doing the same old thing and leave it going. And yeah, that's all. I can actually feel the heat here. There we go.